Okay, today I'm going to talk about the strategies which could help you to deal with difficult people. Have you really experienced a situation in which somebody frustrates you, or you want to, let's say, pull your hair or scream out after, let's say, jumping in front of a, let's say, room or something, and you're completely angry or pugnacious? Don't worry, you're not alone. There are many situations and there are many people in your workplace, on the street, taxi drivers, your neighbors, or wherever you go, and and you cannot, let's say, quit these people, and you cannot isolate yourself. You cannot quit your job. You need to learn some strategies for, let's say, dealing with such people, and be aware of this fact that when you are angry, actually the free response surface in your brain would be activated, and in doing so, your brain cannot distinguish between a customer who is yelling at you or a vicious dog. Some substances would be released in your brain. For example, adrenaline and also cortisol, or some materials which are released after a situation that people get angry. So this is up to you to use your conscious mind to differentiate between these two situations, to handle your actual situation and diffuse your anger. So we have to deal with these people. For example, in your workplace, you can see that some people stick to their ideas vehemently, and also uh, they do not do their task or assignment as they promised previously, and also they don't show up in meetings, or they procrastinate their assignments or their jobs, and all of these activities and all of these behaviors or features are actually annoying for all of us. So as I told you, we cannot quit our job or isolate ourselves. So we need to learn some strategies for coping with this sorts of people. First of all, be calm. When you're dealing with these sorts of people, try not to get angry, trying to put a damper on your pugnaciousness. But sometimes that, for example, some people in your workplace or your coworkers, and if you get some angry or serious, that person could be more flexible. In doing so, you can use your seriousness intentionally to handle the situation, and there's nothing wrong with that. And try to understand the person's intention. Why is that person so difficult? What's wrong with that person? Sometimes people have some hidden ideas or hidden reason that you cannot understand because they are different from you, and that spark some difficulties in people. And if you try to figure out all of those reasons, you can handle the situation better and better. Try to get some feedbacks and, let's say, perspectives from others. For example, in your workplace, you can ask other co-workers about that person, about the behaviors of that person, and what's wrong with that. Maybe you yourself have some problems. People look at different situations from different angles, and if you try to get some background, some let's say perspective and standpoint from other people, you can handle the situation better. And sometimes it's a good idea to try to explain your background to that person that you have some problems with. Sometimes people don't know you, and they don't know what's your goal, your job, your activity. For example, in a special field, they cannot understand you. That why are you so serious? You need to explain some of your features, your qualities, your background, your job, and maybe as a result, they can understand you better and better. And what's your goal and objective? And sometimes it is suggested to build a rapport with your coworkers, build a rapport and make friendship with people, with your coworkers, for example. Try to know their habits, their features, and sometimes their families, their interests. And in doing so, as a result, you can socialize with them and better. And one more point: if somebody is really angry to you and maybe he's quarreling with you, try not to say I understand. As a result, that person gets more angry. to you. Try to ask the person to explain the situation to you and try to listen to him or her, because people generally need to be heard. As a result, they could be more calm, and avoid smiling when you're talking to that person, because sometimes people think that you are scoffing at that person. And that was all of the information and suggestions that I gathered by looking at different websites and different articles for about dealing with difficult people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, Cesar. The information was great.
Yeah.
And so useful. Although I have some questions to ask you.
Sure.
Okay, so Arash, please focus on the form.
Yeah, but one, let's say, suggestion.
Sure.
About the pronunciation of suggest or suggest.
Yeah.
He was completely correct, but Sasan, you pronounce it British, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Suggest.
Suggest. But you're welcome. But the rest, I think the rest was okay.
Also, you said thank you, Arash, for making that
You're
effort.
welcome.
As usual, we're counting on you. And
thank you.
Sasan, you said isolate. Isolate again actually is British based. You should say isolate if you want to be consistent. Yeah.
Okay, isolate, yeah?
Yes, isolate is American. And let me see. Cortisol, I think you said cortisol. I don't know.
Cortisol,
yeah.
Yeah.
Cortisol. And did you said vehement?
Yeah.
We don't have H. Vehement. H is not pronounced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
H, for example, we have vehicle, but it is vehicle. H again is not pronounced.
Vehicle. Yeah, vehicle.
Yes, we don't have, as far as I know, it is. Let me check it. Hold on.
Okay.
No, what is perfect?
Vehicle.
Yeah, we don't have any he sound. Although in spelling he exists. I mean H exists. The same is true about vehement. We don't call it vehement.
What does it mean?
Vehement?
Oh, yes. I use it.
What does that mean?
When somebody actually is sick to something severely, it means...
yes. Vehement means severe.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
But that was a new word, It's about 1 hour that I've learned this word.
Congratulations. Yeah, why not? And let me see. I'm using my notes. Is it background to something? Is it background of something? Background of something. You see?
Yeah.
And the other one is R-A-P-P-O-R-T. How do you pronounce it? R-A-P-P-O-R-T?
Yeah, rapport.
As far as I know, it is rapport. But let me check it. It is rapport. It's a French word which means relationship, strong relationship. Hold on.
Rapport. Rapport.
Yeah, rapport.
What about the British one?
Both of them. Rapport.
Rapport, okay.
Full O. O. Yeah.
Rapport.
It's not O. It's not that diphthong or triphthong. It's full O. Yeah. Okay. T is not pronounced because we do have this case in French pronunciation. And so let me see. Is it more calm? It is calmer. Not more calm. And let me see. Also, I have a question about one part of your lecture. You said in interaction with other people, you should not say, okay, I agree with you. I think you said something like this. I understand you. I understand you again and again. But it's not that
Yeah,
applicable
I've
to all
experienced this
situations.
situation, you know.
Yeah, you did
Uh,
experience.
Right.
yeah, but look at this sentence from another angle. You know, when somebody is quarreling with you and he's angry towards you,
Hmm.
if you say that you understand, it means that you have already knew that uh, you already knew that
You're
statement or that
annoying.
problem.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but
and
depending on different people, your addressees, your strategy should alter. You know, you should not take the same strategy for all cases. It doesn't make sense. See,
yeah, yeah.
you should be flexible with that.
Right.
My idea. Yeah.
But
Right.
as far as I know, in marketing, especially marketing,
Okay.
actually, we should do something that Sasan mentioned, and we
Exactly.
should ask about the situation, about the problem, and say that you will try to fix it and resolve it. As far as I know.
Precisely. Yes. Yeah. Because clarity is so important. When you say I understand, but you don't understand even one word of that, so you cannot lead anywhere with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to just lay a clear foundation of everything when it comes to business.
Right.
And also, Sasan, you said that another in the early part of I think your lecture, you said we need to just get familiar with the people with whom we try to have a conversation or communicate. And so, do you really think that it is practical? If you want to just know everybody around you, you end up having nothing for yourself. You know, you become a stranger to yourself, so you cannot understand it. You know, one of the best-selling course books or books, you know, these days is all about, or let's say, falls into the genre of people skills. But I myself cannot just give my ears to that because
uh,
I cannot understand anybody.
but you
Yes.
know, the article that I was gathering some information from
Mm-hmm.
was talking about a special person whom you have some problems with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, if it is
it
so
wasn't talking
close to
about all
you,
people. Yeah,
yeah.
you know, that was talking about your workplace, and for example, one of your coworkers is some difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to figure out that person. You want to get familiar better and better because you cannot isolate yourself with that
Mm-hmm.
from that person. So you
Why
need to be in
not?
touch with it,
You
so
could
you can get,
isolate.
if you try to get familiarized with all of his qualities, features, interests, you can maybe communicate with that person easily,
Mm-hmm.
more easily.
Yeah, if actually you have just few coworkers or
Yeah,
colleagues, that's okay. But for example, in some cases, you may have
actually,
dozens of colleagues. So, do you really hold this responsibility to just get to know all
uh,
of them individually?
yeah.
It's my personal issues.
But you know, sometimes you know, I think different uh, different workplaces have the various atmospheres. Sometimes when you want to do with some people collectively, or you are
Mm-hmm.
doing a project collaboratively, collaboratively, yeah,
Collaboratively.
collaboratively, you cannot be so
Yes.
serious sometimes towards
Yes,
your
exactly.
coworkers.
Yes. Collaboration, yes. It requires us to work with each other, but not
Yeah,
at any cost. So
yeah,
if it relies on teamwork, so the members actually should act normally. Privacy is not that valued. So you don't
yeah.
have your own
Mhm.
privacy. You just want to think about something. what are you thinking about? I have experienced it so much. What are you
You're right.
thinking of? Okay, well, it's none of your business. Is that serious? Are you engaged? Oh, come on. Yeah, to be
Right.
honest, that is true. And
Yeah.
So,
okay, so
how do you expect a person who wants to, for example, make friends with you in your workplace to act? I mean, imagine one of your coworkers want to get closer to you, and he wants, for example, to start a communication, and he has nothing to say to you at the first, let's say, uh, glance. And do you think that that's a good start to ask you about your engagement, or, for example, the topic that you're thinking about, or
no,
something?
it's so
Personal.
impolite in my idea to ask you about. For example, if my familiarity level is so weak, so the person actually should not accost you saying that, are you engaged?
Or even how much
How much money
is
do you
your
have?
income? How much
Oh
money do you
yeah,
earn?
that is another stupid question.
Yeah.
It shows that actually they don't respect your privacy, or
Yeah.
yeah, these are so personal questions. And how much money do you earn?